Good morning. I'm Jill Lowry, your Schooley Mitchell expense reduction expert. Welcome to my weekly live stream, Net More Now, where I'll be sharing what I love doing for CFOs and for business owners, which is to take back a lot of money that's already yours, to put it back in your business and or put it back in your pocket. As you know, I focus on expense reduction tips that help you improve your company's profitability through expense reduction for your essential services, such as telecom, shipping, gasoline or diesel for your fleet, and so on. This week, as we prepare our 2020 financial reports for our accountants, let's really take stock of those expenses. I shared post this week about how tricky it can be to address the excess cost that crop up in our wireless invoices. One that I didn't like on my P&L was payment processing fees. But our cell phones and tablets are critical to our business, just like accepting payments by credit card. Unfortunately, these are also fraught with tiny little fees that can really add up. I want to talk to you today about reducing operating costs in 2021 and getting your vendor to pay for it. For those of us whose ad budgets don't include the purchase of stadium naming rights, like our wireless companies, we need to pay close attention to our costs. Our work has proven year after year that not all individuals in a business require unlimited data. Typically, it's only a few. It would be a full-time job in many companies to really stay on top of what's happening with each line of their accounts. I know these invoices are hard to read, and I know it's really easy to put it on auto pay, but your company needs a bird's eye view to know what's worth the expense and what ultimately ends up as waste. And when there are changes in your team or to your business and things are moving fast, that's when you most need to avoid excessive spending. There's also excess cost in payment processing. When I say payment processing, I'm referring to accepting credit and debit cards, as well as ACH bank transfers to collect your revenue. And that's true whether you're business to business or business to consumer. So what can be done to reduce these costs? The statements are full of data, but not much information. Most businesses judge by their effective rate of processing. So the total fees divided by the total sales processed, and maybe look at that one month to month or a few times a year. But to me, that's like using a thermometer to determine if you have COVID. You really need a more specific test if you're going to figure out the cure. You really want to dig out the costs of processing the specific categories of cards used in your business, or at the various locations of your business that could vary. As well as what connects your point of sale system, if any, or your e-commerce store to the processor. And just like you would when selecting any vendor for your business, obtain at least 3 bids. Insist on apples to apples format to make the comparison easier. Then apply those bids to your unique interchange profile, test each scenario, and you can be confident in your selection. Be thorough, and you won't have to repeat this process very often. So that's a lot of attention to detail when you're trying to grow a business. I often have clients tell me that they have a person responsible for monitoring these costs, but without sophisticated software, it's so time consuming, and they have better things for that employee to do. They appreciate that adding Schooley Mitchell to your team doesn't add any cost. Schooley Mitchell fees are contingency based, meaning that our fee is only a share of the savings that we generate only during the span of our engagement. So all that time we're auditing your statements, correcting issues with your vendor, providing you with as much detail as you like. And after that, all the savings stays with you. So why would we work under this model? Because in most cases, we find savings. And if we don't find savings, we don't want you to feel obligated to us. Over the last 23 years, we developed proprietary tools, software, and the vendor relationships that make it easy for us to operate as the outsourced cost containment professional on your team, paid for by your vendors. So that's my feature topic for the week. Impress your tax professional next year by reducing expenses in your essential services. You can book an appointment with me now. I'll put the calendar link in the comments, and let's see how your business can net more now. I'll find ways to help you stop overpaying for wireless or payment processing or anything else that's keeping you up at night. Bye for now. We'll see you next week.